Hey, hi, how are you doing? Again, it's been a week that I last shot a video on YouTube. So if you're still watching this, thank you. Thank you for making me consistent about today's video. I did a Q&A a while back on my Instagram, precisely 2 weeks ago, and I had a few repetitive questions that I wanted to answer, which I mentioned in my previous video also. First is, why don't you give the home tour? So yeah, this is like the most repeated question I have got. Now the thing is about home tour. Firstly, I shifted into this apartment like early of this month, first to be precise. Within a month, like me and my partner, we both did quite a lot. We bought a sofa, bed, we bought mattress, so many things we bought like from the scratch that the decor part of it we never went to it. So this is the shelf I got. Like this is the only decor piece I have, and this is the only thing I have got till now. So there's no point of home tour. Let me tell you, as a creator, there's always this debate going on within our own selves that are we sharing enough or are we sharing too much? So that's always there. But that's one reason of not doing a home tour, because nothing is actually there. Second question, what to do about groupism? Oh my god, I don't know why are people again asking me this, because back in 2023 I used to make a lot of content on being alone, in solitude, actually letting go of people who are toxic, and this question used to come a lot back then as well. So groupism, I have dealt with this ism for quite a while, almost like 7 to 8 years, like almost all my 20s I've dealt with it. I dealt with it first when I was in school, my graduation, and then when I went to my post graduation. So someone was at the door, as always when I'm shooting, and I completely hit this part. Okay, so where was I? I was at groupism and how I have faced it in almost every part of my life. One way to deal with it is, firstly, to realize that none of it will matter in 2 years from now, in 5 years from now, and maybe you will have to deal with it again after some years, because that's how it goes. If you're feeling out of place in a certain area of life, or especially in college, there's a good chance you will feel out of place in your another college also. Because let me tell you, 99% of the crowd remains same. The weak section, the section that do not want to raise their voice against anything which is going bad in the society, in the college basically. The section that will judge you for being your own self. The section that will be nice to you until you're being of use to them. And the minute you're being used to yourself, or the minute you're doing something for yourself, they'll be far long gone and you'll be like, what just happened? So all I'm saying is, you need to first believe that this is going to be over sooner than you think. This is not going to matter at all in the coming years, because you are already ahead of yourself in the future. Like in the future, none of it, I hardly remember the names, forget faces, I don't even remember the names of the people who did things to me, or who made me feel out of the box, or whom I faced all the groupism things. So I'm just telling you that none of it matters right now. It may feel like your entire life revolves around, why is this group talking to me like that, why are they, I'm telling you, being in solitude will give you that peace, will give you that non-anxious state, and especially the focused state of where you want to be. And especially in today's day and age, if you're into college, the best part is you can still be alone. You can read a book, you can actually take up an online course, and utilize your time in that. And there's so many things that you can do instead of being in a group that doesn't even respect you, that shows you that you're the odd one out in that group. Okay, I'm exaggerating this point a bit much, but I really want to pinpoint this. In colleges, especially when it comes to postgraduate colleges, I hate the fact that everyone, including the system staff, everyone thinks that everyone in the class is in a group, and then they give group assignments, and then you have to choose who will be in your group, and then you're left alone and you're like, I don't have a group. These people had a group of 5, it was allowed to be 5, and they already are 5. Now who will select me? And then some random group selects you, and none of them like you, and you do know that they don't like you, and still you have to work with them to just because your degree is so expensive and you just need to get that degree. Yeah, I understand that feeling. So all I'm saying is, it wouldn't matter much in your later life. It does matter now. All you need to do is, at the end of the day, just tell yourself that you are there for yourself, and that's enough. You are enough. The people who are around you and are not able to see who you are for you, They don't even deserve your presence. They are lucky enough to be in your presence in that particular year of their life, because I promise you, you wouldn't even know their name. Okay, I'll move ahead. I exaggerated this question quite a bit. How to grow Instagram? Okay, these are very random, very different what we say, genre of questions. Now, when I come to Instagram, oh my god, this is such a big topic. I think there are 2-3 ways that I can suggest you on how to grow your Instagram, but those have nothing to do with strategies, if that is what you're asking. Number one, focus on your real life. Focus on making your real life better. And not better in just terms of, financially or something. Better in terms of actual routines, actually liking your day, actually liking your mornings, your evenings, and making yourself feel that, I deserve this life. Oh, I've got another day. I get to do this on this day. And basically make your real life interesting enough that when you put it online, in no matter what niche or genre you put it on, put it as, it will reflect. If you're enjoying your life, it will reflect from your Instagram. Everything is energy. I know people are like, she always talks like woo woo things, but this is what I, actually, certainly, very consciously believe in. Energy is everything, and how you're feeling in your real life, it will directly impact on the content or whatever you will put on your online platform. Second way to grow Instagram. Again, people keep saying about the niche. I will say, do not care about the niche. Just post. I think Instagram as a platform is basically where you want to be yourself. So just post. You don't have to find out the niche. Once you keep posting, you might find out that there's no particular niche that you want to follow, or maybe you find out, oh, this is the niche that's getting the most engagement. Maybe people would like to see me doing this more, and do I even like doing this more, and then focus on that. Now the third thing is kind of most important. So if you're starting out, it's too late for me because I've been doing Instagram for like 5 to 6 years now. But if you're starting out, I would request you, firstly, do not tell the known ones that you are starting out. Do not ask them to follow you. Do not ask them to do anything. Even if they are very close ones, do not even try. I'll tell you, in the long run, when your profile is full of, more unknowns than the known ones, then it's easier to create content and easier to get engagement, which is a harsh truth of society, of course. So it got really dark. Now it's better. Coming to the next question. What is your current read? Oh, that's a simple answer, even like it's just right here. This is The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. So far, I'm loving this. One of the perspectives I want to share, which I got to know in like first 2 pages of the book, is basically how if there is an idea in your head and you're not putting it out in the world in any form, it will be out in the world because the idea has already emerged, has manifested itself. So if not through you, it will be out in the world by someone else. It's just a matter of time. And I know, again, people may call it woo woo, but what I've realized is like that is such an interesting way of putting forward your ideas, of reducing the time between your ideation and execution, and actually, working accordingly. So that's my current read, and I'm so far loving it. When will you start your cozy videos? I already started my cozy videos. Today was the first day I posted. Now I've realized 2 things again. First is, when I post these cozy videos, when I post it without any voiceover, just a song and a nice font, everyone really likes it. Like, it's very therapeutic way of doing it. But when I post it with something actually meaningful voiceover, then people tend to ignore it and it doesn't pick up like my other videos, which I think is again a little bit to think on. As an audience, why are we only attracted to entertainment and not valued that much? And I do not take my Instagram that seriously also. So it was just a trial. I just wanted to put it out there the way I felt about it, but already put it, so I request you to go to my Instagram and check it out, and I will, create more cozy videos, including my evening routines as well. Like right now it's evening, it's beautiful, and I have like a winding down routine as well. More interesting stuff coming up. How to stay positive. Okay, I will not exaggerate this answer a lot because so much has already been said about it in my past videos. So I'll keep it in a very short answer, very brief answer. Have faith. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the only answer. Have faith. Faith in what? Faith in, firstly, in believing that you are not the only one who's doing everything. Not everything is in your control. There's someone else who is doing all of this for you. And if you're a good person, only good things will happen to you. So, only and only thing which is in your control is your habits, your inputs, and your actions basically. Outside, not that much in your control. Your results, your output, how will people treat you, how will your career treat you, how will your relationship treat you, and things like that, not much in your control. So how to stay positive is basically believe that there's some higher power working for you and not against you, and that higher power is constantly looking over you. You're protected, you're secured, and all you need to do is live the day. Like, no matter what you're given, just live today's. Okay, next is why shift from Dehradun when you loved it? Oh my god, the number of times I have been asked this. I love Dehradun still. I wish I never had to leave, but uh, I had to, because the circumstances were like I need my own space, and I need to grow in my career. I need to, bring out more products in the market, and actually live with myself as well as my partner, of course, but actually live in a space where I'm focused on bringing creativity out in the world and things like that. So that's why I had to move, and now I'm in Pune, and I'm talking only good. I'm believing only good, as I said before. And I'll take the last one now, which is your favorite movies and shows, because I want to keep it light. We have already stretched it quite a bit. I'm not even sure about this answer. Movie I liked. Oh, there was this movie of Julia Roberts, Love, Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah, Eat, Pray, Love, which I really loved. I loved that movie. About shows, I usually watch Friends on repeat while I'm eating, and that's it. Like, I try to avoid my screen time as much as possible. So I kind of repeat the shows so that if my food is done in 20 minutes, I'm done watching the show in 20 minutes, and there is less screen time. So I think that's it about this video. There are two more questions which is all about, routines and rituals. So I think I'll cover that maybe more in detail in my next video. If you want to know more about WhatsApp and my daily learnings, realizations, experiences, perspectives, I am very active on my stories, and you're welcome there. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day or night.